And now, the HBO Sports presentation.
The following is a presentation of HBO Sports.
Okay, everybody in position, please. The important thing is that it's a two-step process. You see him, he sees you, you stop. So we see the belt.
With just over 2 months until their May 6th bout, 154-pound title holder Ricardo Mayorga and challenger Oscar De La Hoya take part in a routine photo shoot. Mayorga taunts De La Hoya, and tensions quickly mount.
Playito, esto no es película. Aquí no vas a cantar como un maricón que quería entrar a la música. Esto es boxeo, maricón, boxeo.
They call him El Matador, the baddest of boxing's bad boys.
Ricardo epitomizes what an athlete should not do.
A showman who lights up press conferences, opponents, and cigarettes. He's known as the Golden Boy, the most popular fighter of his generation.
Oscar is unique, just a different kind of animal altogether.
He's George Clooney with fists.
With the face of a matinee idol that belies his battle-tested heart.
Look at De La Hoya. He wants to fight.
Two men who used boxing to rise from humble beginnings. But the similarities end there.
Oscar is gentlemanly and polite and dignified. Ricardo Mayorga is a reckless, wild man.
Today, De La Hoya is a businessman as well as a boxer. But after a year and a half outside the ring, his business with Mayorga has become personal.
He got under my skin. That's really pumping me up to really give him a beating. I have to become world champion. I can't wait to get up there and give this guy a lesson.
Mayorga is a dangerous guy, and he can end everything for Oscar.
A loss would be devastating and would suggest it's time for Oscar De La Hoya to consider not fighting anymore.
This is the story of a boxing legend in the twilight of his career and an outspoken underdog seeking his greatest victory. This is the countdown to De La Hoya Mayorga. Inside every champion lies a unique passion. More than speed. More than agility. More than the power to persist when others relent. For Oscar De La Hoya, that passion was born in the barrios of East Los Angeles.
Oscar grew up in the heart and soul of East LA. That's where everything happened, from the East LA riots to cruising to gangbanging, everything.
There's a lot of violence, a lot of bad places, and sports was an outlet for all of us.
I started fighting at like 5 years old. My father was a fighter. My grandfather was a boxer. So I kind of had no choice but to be a fighter.
We attended elementary school together, and we had to write an essay, what we wanted to be when we grew up. Oscar wrote that he wanted to be a gold medalist, and the entire classroom laughed at him.
But De La Hoya was no joke. By age 19, he was selected for the 1992 U.S. Olympic team, representing his country and fighting to fulfill a solemn vow.
His mother was his central shrine and devotion. She had died tragically of cancer. Oscar had promised her that he would win a gold medal in her honor. He had both a childlike quality and a killer instinct in the ring. He was under pressure to win an Olympic gold medal. He delivered. The story could scarcely have been better.
While Oscar was winning gold in Barcelona, 18-year-old Ricardo Mayorga was running gangs on the streets of Managua, Nicaragua.
Mayorga grew up in just dire poverty. Dirt floor and marginal plumbing.
Aluminum roof, tin walls. We talk about poverty here in the States, and when we see poverty down Latin America, it's a completely different world.
Bueno, cuando era más joven, peleaba barrio contra barrio y éramos como 40 contra 40 peleando. Y así, ahí salían puñales, machetes, piedras.
He was in a gang and he's got scars to show it, and if you don't believe him, he'll show you the scar.
Cuando era vago, cuando era jefe de pandilla y me agarraba con puñales. Y esto es con hecho, no es mentira. Yo no juego con muñeca como Oscar. Ni estoy debajo de la falda de mi mamá.
I've never had a street fight in my life. I've never been involved in a brawl outside the ring. I always managed to talk my way out of it.
Whenever they ask him, hey, have you ever had any street fights? You ever fight in the street? He says, nope, I don't fight for free.
Oscar! Oscar! Oscar!
After his gold medal performance, De La Hoya's potential earning power was readily apparent. With a vicious left hook and a 1,000-watt smile, he was pro boxing's newest phenomenon.
Oscar De La Hoya was a find. He was what we needed in boxing when he came on the scene.
When Oscar first turned pro, he was beating very good fighters easily, but he was really turned pro at a weight too light for him. I mean, they kept him intentionally light so he could dominate naturally smaller opponents.
De La Hoya follows with a flurry, another left hook, and down goes Jorge Paez.
And so a lot of guys like me in the media were thinking that he was an excellent fighter who was very carefully handled.
De La Hoya fires away with both fists.
The big moment for him was when he fought in Las Vegas against a guy named Rafael Ruelas, because he wasn't supposed to win. A lot of people thought that he didn't have the heart, he was too pretty. Then he just blasted this kid away, and that was it.
De La Hoya with the punishment, and that's it, that's it! Oscar De La Hoya!
Oscar's for real. He's not a product of hype.
Still, the hype and hysteria remained. The boxing world was abuzz with Oscar mania.
Oscar had the looks of what they used to call a matinee idol. He's George Clooney with fists, and naturally, he attracted women to the party as well.
Oscar De La Hoya has a constituency that is larger than any I've seen in boxing. They have no concept of what boxing is, but they love Oscar.
It was like the Beatles had shown up. It was unbelievable. I mean, he needed security people to get him away from these women.
I would die for him. I would do anything.
De La Hoya brought his unparalleled appeal and a perfect 31-0 record into a 1999 clash with fellow undefeated superstar Felix Trinidad.
Two undefeated 26-year-old champions in the primes of their careers. A pick'em fight for the welterweight championship of the world.
An unusually vigorous touching of gloves between two fighters who seem to like each other less and less every day.
Top of Oscar's career, the first 7 rounds against Felix Trinidad. He walks into the ring against Trinidad in his biggest fight ever, and he demonstrates clear and impeccable technical superiority over another great fighter.
Gotta be a tremendous scoring round for Oscar De La Hoya.
And he is doing magical things.
Oscar popping Trinidad with a 4-punch combination, stepping forward, going to the body. Outclass is too big a word for what's happening here.
And then,